Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. My name is Andres, and I will be the one taking care of you for this reading. How is it going, Gemini? I started out kind of I wouldn't call it rushed. I wouldn't call it excitement. But I started high energy. And not high energy in like a good or bad way. Just a lot of movement. But now, I feel very calm. I feel very in tune. Like, as if whatever is happening is supposed to be happening. Hi, Luna. Baby. And my dog is at the door. Wait, baby. So yeah, something I absolutely love in the door was at the door, waiting for me to open it. Now she's staring at me. And I feel like I am right where I need to be. Yeah. Possibilities. Okay. Seeing this mood mode. However I'm feeling right now, I would take all of the possibilities that would appear at my doorstep. This is the Two of Fire, the Two of Will. We are above the abyss, and then nothing. We are in the tree of life of will, of fire, of movement, of passion. This tree is all about the reasons that we get up in the morning. The only reason to move. The only reason we would do things we don't want to do. The only reason we move around and are not like trees. Because us and trees are the same thing. We are literally the same thing. The only difference is that we move around, and trees are rooted where they are at. Because if you like jump, you know, you can jump, you can get in the air, but you're going right back down. It's not like you can really go anywhere. You can only go anywhere sideways, you know. So we are still rooted to the earth, just like the trees. Except we are mobile. We are mobile. We can move around. But we can't just take off and leave like this eagle. We are just like the trees. So you could say, I feel stuck, you know. But you're never really stuck because you can move around. You are in a tree. Possibilities. Number 2 of fire. Action. The eagle has an overview of all of the possibilities contained in the landscape below. As he flies freely, naturally, and effortlessly through the sky, he is really in his domain, very grand and self-contained. This card indicates that you are at a point where a world of possibilities is open to you. Yeah, imagine, being a tree all your life, and then You discover you're not a tree, you're human. You're mobile. You can walk around. How exciting would that be? There's a world of possibilities open to you because you have grown more loving towards yourself, more self-contained. You can work easily with others because you are relaxed and at ease. You can recognize possibilities as they present themselves, sometimes even before others can see them, because you are in tune with your own nature. You understand that existence is providing you with exactly what you need. Yeah, that's how I feel. Enjoy the flight and celebrate all of the varied wonders of the landscape spread before you. New possibilities. This feels as the same feeling of a caterpillar when it turns into a butterfly. And then it has, look at all the new possibilities that the caterpillar had. You know, now I can fly. Now I can explore a bunch of cool new things. New possibilities. Grow your feet and move around. Like grow your wings and fly. Grow your feet and move around, you tree. Mind can accept any boundary anywhere, but the reality is that by its very nature, existence cannot have any boundary, because what will be beyond that boundary? Again, another sky. That's why I'm saying skies upon skies are available for your flight. Yeah, the caterpillar was like, oh, I already explored everything. And then life was like, psych! There's much more to explore. Don't be content easily. Those who remain content easily remain small. Small are their joys, small are their ecstasies, small are their silences, small is their being. But there is no need. There is no need, I tell you, Gemini. The smallness is your own imposition upon your freedom, upon your unlimited possibilities, upon your unlimited potential. All right. Breakthrough. Okay. This is more action, more movement. This is something we're seeing. Number 11 of the major arcana. Minor arcana are things we are in control of, things we do over and over and over again until we get it right. Major arcana are things that happen to us. Is life responding to us finally getting this right? And so life responds by moving you into something else to learn. Just like the caterpillar, did his thing and he finally got it right. And so the breakthrough was turning the caterpillar into a butterfly, and now it has other things to explore. And that is the cool thing about life. There is always more. You could say that is a bad thing about life. Damn, there is always more. This isn't going to end. But do you want to see life as a possibility or life as a grudge, a punishment? Well, Luna moaned when I said punishment. Okay, so this is the breakthrough. Instead of seeing things that keep happening to you as punishment, you're going to start seeing them as possibilities now. That should be the biggest breakthrough we should be working on. Is to take all of these things and look at them as possibilities. Yeah, Luna agrees. My dog agrees. Number 11. Okay. Breakthrough. The predominance of red in this card indicates at a glance that its subject is energy, power, and strength. The brilliant glow emanates from the solar plexus, or center of power on the figure, and the posture is one of exuberance and determination. Damn, that sounds like anything is possible. All of us occasionally reach a point when enough is enough. At such times it seems we must do something, anything, even if it later turns out to be a mistake, to throw off the burdens and restrictions that are limiting us. If we don't, they threaten to suffocate and cripple our very life energy itself. If you're now feeling that enough is enough, allow yourself to take the risk of shattering the old patterns and limitations that have kept your energy from flowing. Yeah, seeing things as like a drag, like Shikamaru, seeing things as a drag instead of seeing things as possibilities. W is Shikamaru, by the way, one of my favorite characters of Naruto. In doing so, you'll be amazed at the vitality of an empowerment this breakthrough can bring to your life. To transform breakdowns into breakthroughs is the whole function of a master. The psychotherapist simply patches you up. That is his function. He's not there to transform you, You need a meta-psychology, the psychology of the Buddhas. Yeah, because therapy, like, that's how they make money. Keep you coming back. Like, why would they heal you and stop getting money? It is the greatest adventure in life to go through a breakdown consciously. It is the greatest risk because there is no guarantee that the breakdown will become a breakthrough. It does become, but these things cannot be guaranteed. Your chaos is very ancient. For many, many lives you have been in chaos. It is thick and dense. It is almost a universe in itself. So when you enter it with your small capacity, of course there is danger. But without facing this danger, nobody has ever become integrated. Nobody has ever become an individual, indivisible. Zen or meditation is a method which will help you go through your chaos, through the dark night of the soul, balanced, disciplined, alert. The dawn is not far away, but before you can reach the dawn, the dark night has to be passed through, and as dawn comes closer, the night will become darker. So this feels like like in any game, whenever challenges come up and you defeat them and you get experience to level up, instead of seeing these challenges that keep coming up as a burden, as, ugh, another challenge, ugh, something else I have to fight, ugh, something else is coming up against me. Instead of seeing it that way, see it as a possibility of, hey, more enemies are coming. That means I'm going to level up more, and I'm going to be even stronger, better than I have ever been. And that is the power that this is talking about. More power. Ace of Wands. Look at all this red. Look at all this energy, all of this. Follow the red. I did heard at some point, before I even was doing the reading, the Ace of Fire come up and is talk about the red. Follow the red. Follow the red. Follow the red, Gemini. Ace of Wands. So all the ace cards are like the gods of these suits. So this is the god of the wands, god of the fire, god of the possibilities. This is possibilities. This is everything. All of these 10 circles from the tree of life are wrapped into this little thing. So you can choose wherever you want to go. Ace of Wands. You can move wherever you want to go. You can do whatever you want to do. This is all of the possibilities that can never possibly exist are wrapped up in a little bow for this Ace of Wands for you. And when you get this, you can decide, like if I gave you this, oh, well, there is no deciding. You are an eagle and you are going to be flying. If I give you this, it's, oh, you are this person. You are going to be breaking through this wall. This gives you all of these possibilities. These possibilities and all the ones we don't know. It is the god of the wands. It is the seat for the princess of wands, which the princess of wands, it goes at the very end of the story. And she is the one that went through a bunch of possibilities and sits down because she is the queen of the possibilities. She already went through them all and had a great time. Yeah, had a great time. Look at that. Whoa. Ace of Wands. Let's see if we might as well read a bit of the Ace of Wands. See what Crowley has to say about this card. It is the root of the powers of fire. This card represents the essence of the element of fire at its inception. It is solar phallic outburst of flame from which spring lightnings in every direction. That was how Crowley described his vision of this card to Harris, and we will have to admit she did a magnificent job doing the illustrations. The Golden Dawn model is more complex than its description might suggest. Some renditions I've seen are almost comical in their attempt to fulfill all the required images. Harris throws them all out the window and gives us the image of a huge tree of life ablaze with 10 flaming Sephiroth. In a very real way, this image is telling us that just as all the Sephiroth of all 4 trios of life are only aspects of the one supreme Kether, just as all 4 Kabbalistic worlds are really only aspects of the highest world, just as the He and the Va and the final He of Yarche Varche are really only aspects of the Yad, of the beginning. All the cards of the minor arcana ultimately live inside one card, the Ace of Wands. Of course, it takes a Buddha to actually grasp that concept. It also leaves us with a pretty thin deck of tarot cards to play with. It's probably better for us to go along with the Kabbalistic drill and view this card as representing Kether of the Tree of Life. That represents the highest of the Kabbalistic world's Atzilut. That's a heavy enough concept as it is. And Kether is the one where it all started. This could be this ace of all of these. All of these are into this, and then this flower blooms and unfolds, and then lets you see all of its content. This card is the masculine complement of the Ace of Cups and is derived from the lingam and the sun, exactly as the Ace of Cups is from the yoni and the moon. You're really stepping into your power here. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Wow, yeah, that Queen of Swords is in her power for sure. Queen of Swords is probably one of my favorite cards. Especially this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is one of my favorite cards because of this Queen of Swords. This is the Water of Air. The person symbolized by this card should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, in action confident, in spirit gracious and just. In action confident. So we've been talking a lot about action. So confident. This Queen of Swords is confident. She takes care of her mind. Her mind of swords, her logical mind. So imagine adding emotions, when someone is just logical, they tend to cut things apart and they don't care about the emotions and all of the distress that it causes. But the Queen of Swords also pays attention to the emotions, and she's good with her sword, as we can see here. So that is the perfect combination for me. You are logical, but you are also going to pay attention to the emotions. So some of this logic stuff that makes sense logically isn't going to make sense when you add emotions in. So now you're taking out some possibilities. If you just use your logic, and things will probably go wrong. If you just use your emotion, things will probably go wrong. Now, this is a new possibility of adding your emotions into your logic, and now seeing what ideas come out of it, if that makes sense. So when someone is logical, they can hurt people if you're just logical, just telling someone that they're ugly. I mean, if they are ugly, then it's logic. Yeah, they are ugly. Why wouldn't you just straight up say it, But when you're adding emotions in, even if it is logical to just be like, hey, you're ugly, when you listen also to the emotions, then you're like, it's probably won't feel good to be told that I'm ugly, So then you find a different possibility. And this Queen of Swords has mastered that. She is still going to call you ugly, but she's also going to pay attention to the emotions. So she's going to say it in a way, I don't know why I'm talking about ugliness, but she's going to, now going to the opposite side. If you just listen to your emotions, there's a lot of stuff that are very logical, and why wouldn't you do it? It's logical. But if you stick to the emotions, then your emotions could tell you some other things. So this Queen of Swords is good at listening to both. So as soon as she will cut off people who hurt her emotions. She isn't afraid to use her logic to cut people off. She isn't afraid to listen to her emotions to be able to cut people off. Because if you listen to emotions, you won't cut them off because it's not logical. Emotions bring people together. But if that one person that you're bringing together is poison and it's hurting yourself, people that are just listening to their emotions are going to be like, well, I don't want to cut them off because they're going to feel bad. But the Queen of Swords says, I know they're going to feel bad, but they're making me feel bad, and that is equally as important. So I'm going to cut you off because I am going to feel good. I'm not going to let anybody treat me like shit. This card represents Crowley's sun sign, and so naturally it is the most intimidating card in the deck. One look at this lady tells us she means business. Water of air is suggestive of clouds that promise either life-giving rain or the threat of torrential cloudburst. She holds the severed head of a bearded man in her left hand, and the sword that probably did the job in her right. One may think this grisly touch is just another gruesome Crowleyism, but it is not. This image is the classic Golden Dawn description of the Queen of Swords and makes a fundamental Kabbalistic statement. The suit of swords represents Yetzirah, which is the formative world, the mind's eye of deity. Swords and Yetzirah's counterpart is the human soul. And the human soul is the Ruach, the intellect, which is centered in the brain, the human head. Using the sword of discretion and reason, the Queen has separated the higher faculties of the intellect from the influences of the lower nature, the Nefesh, the animal soul. She is quite literally, Crowley points out, the liberator of the mind. The head is that of a bearded man, the hermit of Virgo perhaps, the eyes closed peacefully, the face suggesting the trance of deep meditation. The influence of Virgo moving into Libra gives the Queen of Swords the practicality and grace of a great monarch. This native should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, in action confident, in spirit gracious and just. Her movements will be graceful, and her ability in dancing and balancing exceptional. If ill-dignified, she can be as cruel and dangerous as she looks. Crowley's fellow Queen of Swords include Mahatma Gandhi, Eleanor Roosevelt, H.G. Wells, and Stephen King. Sky blues and yellows and white cumulus clouds dominate this card. The liberator of the mind. Yeah, so this is defending yourself from your own mind as well. Because, that is what anxiety is just your mind hammering over and over and over again. And it's not fun. But this Queen of Swords listens to her emotions, says this isn't fun. Enough mind. The Four of Pentacles. This guy looks like he really wants to protect something. Protect his money. So we have crossed the abyss as the first sphere that you can see that is technically not nothing. Sphere of mercy. The Four of Pentacles. Pentacles is about money, about material things. Your house, everything you can own, everything you can see, your body. Your family. Anything that you can see. Four of Pentacles, stability, ownership, conservatism, caution, accumulation, fear of risk. Enough luck and initiative. The Fool finds herself in a period of plenty. And it looks like it happened all after this power, this breakthrough, these possibilities. You cutting off things, not necessarily other people around outside of you, but inside of you, thoughts that keep coming up that don't feel good. So this was not easy, and she made many sacrifices to save and pinch pennies. She clutches her pentacles, finding comfort in them, but she also feels dependent, and when she obtains more opportunities and chances, she finds herself unable to take them. She fears scarcity, perhaps she will never have enough. Have you ever clung to something only to see it fall away? Sometimes we must learn to let things flow. What are you scared of losing? Why do you hold on so tightly? Interesting. So I mean, this is about the Queen of Swords taking on those skills and abilities. Maybe you don't want to cut this head off, you are scared of letting it go. You think it's helping you, serving you in some way. It's like being a victim, people are going to keep choosing to be a victim because it helps them, It doesn't help them, but they think it helps them. So they're going to keep on choosing it. So this is what this is reminding me of, it could be that victimhood, this clutching her victimhood. No. But the Queen of Swords steps into her own power. I am no victim. Enough is enough. Identify insecurities. Explore what makes you feel unstable, unsafe, and unrecognize the detrimental things you hold on to in order to avoid those feelings. Identify symbols. Sometimes we may use physical possessions to define ourselves. They often stand for status, power, success, or comfort. Learn to let go of these and look within. Search for ways of satisfying your needs without objects. For example, success and money are not the same thing. We can have success without superficial signals. Okay, I'm going to reread that one. Look within. Search for ways of satisfying your needs without objects. For example, success and money are not the same thing. We can have success without superficial signals. Without all of this. Maybe you feel like you won't be successful. You won't be in your power without all of these things that are being clinged to. The Queen of Swords says you need to learn from me. Cut things off that are not useful. We need possibilities. Yeah, look at the difference between this card and this card. And he's still wearing red. Interesting. So this guy is clung down to these pentacles. He's clung down to the earth. Clung down. He's not going anywhere, you know. He's scared that somebody's going to take his pentacles. But this eagle, oh man, he's flying in the sky. Flying high, looking down. Having a great time. He's not worried that his pentacles are going to be gone if he enjoys his flight. Hi, Luna. Do you want to say hi? Speak. 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 Okay, sorry, you know, has been trying to get my attention. Ahorita para afuera no. Espérame un rato. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Oh, and we end with the Two of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, this is definitely not about other people. The Two of Cups for me is always about other, you know, the way you relate to other people. This is other relationships, you know, loving relationships, family relationships, anything outside of ourselves that can bring more cups in to us, more love in. That's what I usually label the Two of Cups as. But this one is for sure, this is you. This is your married you and another two. Yeah, look at that. There's only two. You and the one in the mirror. You know, you and life. So this is you finally treating yourself better. You know, so this Queen of Swords, you need the way of thinking, the way of this, of mine, of everybody is out to get me. You know, everybody's going to steal my pentacles. Everybody is going to steal what I have. They're just out to get me. This is what's being cut off. The Queen of Swords is strong enough. And yeah, this is the way you treat yourself, especially. Like this guy doesn't look loving at all, you know. He doesn't even have any hands to be able to receive these cups. He doesn't have any hands free. He's just clutching what he has. So it's time to let go. It's time to see more possibilities instead of more people out to get us. It's going to be the big breakthrough. And that's going to be you stepping into your power. Because this guy is not in his power. This one is more in her power for sure. Yeah, that's all the Two of Cups needed to say. I think we're going to go to our last advice from the Office Oracle deck. And I think I see some that went upside down. I don't usually do things upside down. But if they are already mixed like that, then what to do? Alright. 12. Okay, yes. Okay, so just like I said about this Two of Cups. Sorry. But just like how I said about that Two of Cups, that it's not about other people, it's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about how you treat yourself. It's all about how you relate to yourself. It's all about how you see the world. If you see the world this way, then the world will be this way. You know, if you are this way, the world will be this way. If you are this way, the world will also be this way. Number 12, this is about goals. Stanley celebrating. Stanley set a goal for himself. Everyone else set a goal for a corporate. While everyone else was failing and eating cake, Stanley was eating baklava and walking up the stairs instead of using the elevator. There is a special energy when someone pushes to better themselves just for the pure sake of wanting to better themselves. I am proud of you, Gemini. Put your hand up like Stanley and celebrate. You deserve it. You deserve it. 16. Okay, this is about things you see. Oh wow, this is about Pam reacting differently to the situation she was in. So that is the recurring. Oh, not cafe, disco. Surrender. Pam at first struggled to let the lady know that they are not the van of Alleluia Scranton. It was a struggle. She tried to control and correct the situation, with no success. After being tired of the events that are happening, she ceases to struggle and just lets the old lady in the van. Stop fighting and let what is happening happen. Relax. Let go. Don't be scared. Be relieved. Everything happens for a reason. No reaction is needed. Drop the controller, sit back, and enjoy the show. Possibilities. Pam did not see these as possibilities, and then she decided, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to let the old lady in the van. Okay, so this was upside down. So we are not using this energy to our best capabilities. Use the surge of fear and adrenaline to sharpen your decision making. More possibilities. Your power. I guess fear and adrenaline would be your power. It is you saying, hey, I am here. Stress. See, Pam felt stress here in this situation. The fire is shooting at you. Now use the surge of fear and adrenaline to sharpen your decision making. The wonderful thing about stress is that it turns coal into diamonds. It turns regular energy and turns it into strong-willed energy. Use the stress of your situation as a spark to turn yourself into what you want to be. See fear for what it is, a tool. Ask yourself what this fear is trying to tell you. Ask yourself where this fear wants you to go. Ask yourself how this fear is trying to help. And listen to yourself. Listen to that fear. Listen to those emotions. Listen to your power. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time, Gemini. Bye.
Debo resignarme a que no estés, aunque esté muy triste, ya no lloraré.